So the youth, especially, I think many of our boys of color feel stigmatized and feel that many of these folks that are supposed to be positive influences in their life actually are designed to kind of control them. And what I do know about working with adolescents, including the ones that live in my own house, is that they are going to naturally rebel against control. And how do I rebel against control? I will act out in ways that are unacceptable to you to show you that I have a level of independence. And so when many of our boys of color do that, what happens? They end up getting arrested, they end up getting stigmatized, they end up getting kicked out of school, etc. All the stuff that you guys know. What's interesting is, while I do think that understanding what one's personal history is important, right? It informs some of our work. But what it means is that we have to outweigh their negative credentials with positive credentials, right? So there's this concept that we've been able to push with our folks, and it says we have to create the wins in order for our students to turn the tide, right? Because what we know to be true about many of our alternative environments is if we're doing our job really well, then many times our environments are the first time that they're meeting academic success, right? The first time that they're feeling loved and want to come to school, right? And so if we're doing our job really well, and so what we can do with that is we can begin to turn the tide and create positive credentials. And so what we say is, let's create wins for our students. I don't care if that means that we're giving them a test the first time that they take a test, and it is with content that they've already mastered. Allow them to experience what it feels like to get an A, right? And then they will begin to, metacognitively, they have to believe that their mind works. Does that make sense? Right? Metacognitively, right? So if we can help them to see that your mind really works, right? Then now they can stretch it. And they can actually grow and develop with the elasticity in their person. Right? All of us want to be in an environment where we're loved. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why my son is in the room with me right now, right? Because if I lose my way at all, I'm looking at y'all and you're like, man, this cat doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I can look at somebody's eyes and know I feel love. I feel love right there, right? He's going to be like, Bobby, you are awesome. I don't care what you're saying right now, but you're awesome, right? So the idea is that we want to be in environments where we feel loved. And what we've created, though, and this is really interesting, the punitive approach, more than anything else, is it creates a subclass and a subculture where those that are stigmatized in society want to be around each other. So this idea of negative credentialing, right? If we don't create the wins for them, right, our boys of color, then they will create their own badges of honor. For instance, going to prison is a rite of passage that many urban males find to be important. A bid? Man, I can do a bid. Man, I can hold my own, right? Going to jail, that's nothing. My father, my uncle, whatever, went to prison. He did that, I can do that. Right? In fact, I'm probably going to get more respect coming out than I will. And we criticize them for that. Right? We say, you know, that's nothing to be proud of, but here's the problem. We don't create the conditions for them to actually succeed elsewhere to build what it is that they should be proud of that we accept. It's a lot of words when we simply say, we've got to create the wins for them, otherwise they'll go find wins elsewhere. And they'll find it honorable to do that. That makes sense, right? Okay.